Hello everyone and welcome to the round glass review for the Konica Hexanon AR 40mm f1.8. This lens was made by, no shock here, Konica. It was introduced in 1978. Typical lens uses are as a fast alternative to a 50mm lens, and it provides a wider field of view that compromises between the even wider 35mm and the narrower 50mm focal lengths. Now, at the time that this lens arrived, it would have been an attractive primary lens for photographers converting from rangefinder cameras, as most of those included 40 or 45mm lenses. For your bottom line up front, this lens wears a lot of hats. Wide open, it's a character lens with dark, swirly-ish corners and some significant softness. Stop down to f5.6, and this lens pops with cooler colors and very sharp resolution. Stop down to f11 and below, and this lens can deliver images with strong source point stars that have a lot of potential for long exposure night photos with strong source point light in them. Your focal length and angle of view are 40mm and 56.8 degrees on full frame, 60mm and 39.7 degrees on aps-C, and no, I never used this lens on GFX because I've never found a Konica to GFX adapter, and quite frankly, even if I had one, don't think this one would be worth trying on GFX given how much light loss there is just on full frame. Your aperture range is 1.8 through 22. Element and group count are 6 and 5. Design type is double gauze. Filter size is 55mm. The closest focus is 0.45 meters, which in the US is the length of one sheet of tabloid paper. The drive type is manual focus. The native mount is Konica AR. Dimensions are 63 by 27mm, and the weight is a very solid feeling 140 grams. Now wide open. This lens vignettes very heavily on full frame and 35mm. Crop sensor users will not experience this so much and may find it to be a nice option as a slightly narrow and fast lens. For micro four thirds, this lens has some portrait potential as well. Stop down even just a stop or two, this lens is incredibly sharp. Wide open, it's a character lens first and foremost, but the speed at which it changes to being super sharp is impressive. Now wide open, in addition to the softness, this lens flares and ghosts so strongly. The flare vanishes by f2.8, but the ghosts remain through the aperture range. Honestly, the wide open performance especially has some potential aesthetic benefits in this regard if you want to use this as a portrait lens. For full-frame users, this lens has some serious architecture chops and can be used for photos of exteriors where a suitable distance is available. Starting with the dots test chart, we see performance that screams character lens. From the middle, monitor pixels are resolved well, but the dots are showing some coma that points toward the image center, which indicates some field curvature. Going around the corners, we see some strong projection-related blur that is a mix of spherical aberration and some astigmatism that leads to that mustache-shaped blur that's really palpable in the corners. The astigmatism will be further shown in the stars test and will really be apparent at f2.8 there. Going now to the lights, we see lights here that are near the lens, and the lens is focused at infinity. We have some projection-related distortion with every light that isn't at the very middle of the image. This is not mechanical vignette as the shapes become symmetrical immediately when the aperture stops down, and we're going to see that in the stars test. Changing the lens to the closest focus point, the projection-related cat's eye shapes start to occur further from the image center. The lights also exhibit some overcorrected spherical aberration with the lights that were hung beyond the focus point in this image. Breathing is visible across a focus throw of 0.7 meters from the closest focus point. In motion shifts, the magnification change is smooth. While it will be noticeable, it may not jarring, especially stop down a bit. In still shifts, the magnification change will be noticeable. The aperture is stepped, and at the wider aperture, it does create some source point light shapes that may be distracting. The front element is non-rotating, but does move in and out by 5mm, which is 13% of the lens focal length. The focus throw is 140 degrees with a narrow but stationary focusing ring. Focus damping on the lens I have is lovely, and this is a highly pleasing lens to use. The autofocus effect on audio is not applicable because this is a manual focus lens, but my lens does have a click at both ends of the focus range when the helical contacts the hard stop, and there is also a slight whine of dust or old grease in the helical mechanism, which is typical of vintage lenses. Sharpness is absolutely staggering when stopped down, but very soft wide open. This lens delivers images with clear details from the closest to furthest focusing points when stopped down from f2.8 to f8. Build quality is typical of good lenses from the late 70s, and this lens has held up well with metal parts and a rubber grip that still feel nice. Contrast is exceptional, and this leads to rich colors and, for RAW shooters, images that have a good deal of channel level information for striking black and white conversions. Aperture stars are fans from f4 to f8 and then take on star shapes at f11. To my eye, they are at their best at f16, and the f22 stars are a little bit too soft due to this lens's strong diffraction. Out of focus areas will vary by aperture, but this is a double gauze lens type and it delivers pleasing blurry areas in keeping with that design's capabilities. Distortion is minor and in the barrel direction when focused close. In real-world use, it is not noticeable. Light loss is gone by f5.6 on a white test screen, but in real-world use, it will not affect images by f4. In real-world use, this lens delivers strong light loss wide open. Alongside that light loss, this lens renders images with a much warmer color cast wide open as well. Stopping down to f8 and smaller changes this lens's performance to a much cooler image rendering. Flare and ghosting are quite strong wide open. They tend to travel together at the wider apertures, with flare being large areas of contrast loss and ghosting being colored shapes that, indicative of ghosting, change with the aperture shape. Stopped way down, the ghosts sort of look like a purple death ray, which, fun fact, is my disco DJ stage name. In motion use, the flare and ghosting could be quite beneficial for creating specific moods or environments. Balance with cameras with this lens is a bit front light, even on mirrorless, due to this being a pancake lens. The Konica Hexanon 40mm f1.8 is a stunning little pancake lens that represents the best of late 70s SLR character lenses. This lens is a bit of a do-everything go-getter that varies from strong character-driven image creation to sharp and capable technical performance. This lens holds up on film, digital, and will work well across the full frame and smaller digital formats. Few lenses can perform in such different ways by format, and few lenses can perform so differently on the same format across apertures and settings. This is a nearly unique lens in that regard, and one that could easily be the lens that lives on the front of a camera almost all the time. Hey, and if you enjoyed this video, check out this other one you'll probably really like too.